Hey guys, real quick before I go on with this video, I just want to take a moment to. I just realized this now. I actually just shot the video we're about to watch. This later in the day. I just wanted to let you guys, anybody who maybe cared, know that I know that I promised that my next video will be the beginning of a horror movie review show, and it was going to be me and Megan and I, talking about the Lords of Salem. That hasn't happened yet. I haven't quite worked out all the bugs yet, and actually making an actual show. I mean, these aren't meant to be videos like this. This is supposed to be an actual show. It's supposed to have a certain structure, and we're still playing around with. At least I am, with possible co-hosts or things of that nature, and even thinking of doing a podcast either in addition to or in lieu of the show here on YouTube. Maybe try an amalgamation of the two. So I want to let you know, I haven't forgotten about it. I haven't it hasn't quite just left my memory or anything like that. I'm still got it on the mind. It is still something that's going to happen. I just don't exactly know yet. But I thank you in advance for your understanding, and I hope you enjoy the video you're about to watch. Well, hi there, all you boys and girls out there in TV land. It's your old pal Justin, back with another collection update video. I know it's been a little while since I had one of these because, well, largely there hasn't been a whole lot to update on. Usually I like to wait till there's enough to at least make a halfway decent video as far as length goes. So sometimes it may take a while. I'm going to try, hopefully I'll be able to work my finances in a way that maybe I can at least attempt to do these every month, especially if I find good deals like these. Especially if I keep having stuff like this. Because I'm pretty proud of this haul that I have for today's video. So without further ado, I'd like to get right into it. I'm going to start. I've only got DVDs and VHS to talk about today. I'm going to start right off. I had my birthday a little over a month ago, and I only received one movie for my birthday. I only received one movie, but it was actually brought to me by my beautiful, loving girlfriend Megan. I love you, baby, if you see this. And it's a movie that I love. I absolutely love. It was one of my favorite movies of 2012, and probably one of my favorite movies of its kind, and that is Paranorman. I love this movie. This may very well be up there, at least in my top 5 favorite animated movies of all time. And I'm being dead serious when I say that. I fucking love this movie. Absolutely adored it. And the animation is just so mesmerizing, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And the story is wonderful. Of course I relate to a story like that, I was a weird kid who liked horror movies, and kids didn't really want to talk to, so it's kind of a movie that's kind of made for people like me. And yeah, I really like the case. It's green. It's translucent, as you'll see here. You can probably you can see me, but you can also see me here too. See, and it's green, which is cool, because it's kind of like a monster color, and it goes well with just stuff about monsters and creepy things. And it's nice DVD. It's got a nice bit of features. It's got a really cool. I haven't watched all of it yet, but this is like, for movies like this, usually you don't get a whole lot in the way of like making ofs and stuff like that. And there's like a making of that's something like 45 minutes, something like that. Something really like extensive for a DVD like this, and it really neat. Kind of look into the animation and how the movie was made, and kind of stories behind the people who made it. So that was really cool. This is probably one of my favorite additions that you'll see in in this update. Next, movie I've been wanting to see for a while, quite a while. As everybody knows, I'm an enormous fan of Italian horror, and there's one director whose movies it's not so much I never got into. I don't think I've actually seen one yet. It's just movies I never got around to getting into, even though he's had a couple movies that I've wanted to see, but haven't yet. And I've been wanting to see this one. I love the title, and there's one scene in particular I heard about it that was like, oh man, that's so brutal, like that's crazy, you know. And I was like, okay, I gotta see it. And I bought it, and I finally saw it, and that's Joe D'Amato's Anthropophagus, the Grim Reaper. Look at that beautifully gory cover. Yes, he is eating his own intestines. Spoiler alert. And so when you wait a time like this, you know, wait a long time to see a movie, and then you finally do, you know, there's always a question of if was it worth it, and what your initial feelings were after it's done. And it's, to be honest, it's bittersweet. I enjoyed the movie fine, but I don't want to say it was kind of a letdown, but it was kind of a letdown. It drags a lot in places, and it has all these crazy plot devices that are never really explained. At least from what I recall. You know, maybe I may have to watch the movie again. I might do that in a couple months, but I just recall certain things just really not being explained, and it didn't come off as, you know, one of those movies like Repo Man, where the trunk is glowing and it melts people because fuck you. That's why I didn't get that at all. It just felt lazy. That being said, there are some really bitchin' gore effects, like the one part I told you about where I guess he's the lead character, the eponymous Anthropophagus, tears an unborn fetus from a woman's vagina, like reaches in there, plucks it out, and eats it. And you watch that, you're like, Jesus fuck. I knew about that scene before watching the movie. It wasn't like that caught me off guard. But it was cool, but you gotta get through so much to get to that point. It's kind of slow, and it's, like, even just looking at the runtime, it's 88 minutes, but it feels longer. It feels almost closer to an hour and 35 minutes, maybe an hour and 40 minutes. At least to me, it felt longer. It was, I'm not going to say it was boring, but it was just, I guess with, you know, the kind of reputation that I've come to expect from Joe D'Amato, and just with Italian horror films of that era in general, you know, movies like Burial Ground was 10 times gorier than Anthropophagus. You know, even most of, like, Fulci's movies, you know, Zombie was gorier than, well, maybe that's, I think they're, no, the Zombie is gorier, but that's not quite leaps and bounds. Because I think the effects are better in Zombie. And it's spaced out more, but there's just a couple moments in here, like, you know, like the scene on the cover when George Eastman eats his intestines at the end, or, you know, the fetus. Like, those are the big highlights. And there's some other gore effects sprinkled here and there, but it's not I'm not even sure if I'd go so far as to call it a splatter movie per se, but it wasn't bad. But enough about that. The last DVD, I picked up Anthropophagus for about $16 at a second hand, but it's a 2-disc, which is cool. I got it from Movie Village, and they got a nice case to put the sleeve into for me. The guys at the store were actually kind of bummed. They're like, I bring this up to the counter, and he's like, "What would you like today? What do you want to do today, sir?" Or something like that, you know, kind of quirky. And I said, "Well, I'd like to buy this," and you hear one of the guys in the back go, "Ah." He's kind of bummed out, I guess, that someone was buying it. I guess maybe he wanted to be able to watch again. But I mean, you could probably find it online. Even if you don't buy it, you know, you can probably download it. But it was kind of neat. It's a cool movie. I would definitely watch it again, and I'm not bummed that I bought it. Now this one is the best, kind of the best deal out of all of them. I paid $2.50 for this at this little pawn shop type idea. I went there. Me and Megan went there. We had just had lunch with a friend of ours, and we thought, she had gotten some good deals at this. It's kind of like essentially it's like a pawn shop, like an oversized pawn shop, and they have DVDs there. And she had gotten some pretty good DVDs there, they had like decent horror movies. And I went there not wanting to spend a whole lot of money. I was basically willing to shell out the money for the right DVD, And when I initially went through there was just nothing. Just not really anything that I really wanted that badly until Megan points this out, and it was only $2.50, and I thought, well, $2.50, I can't leave it behind. And that is Don't You Forget About Me, which is a documentary made by a group of Canadian film students about John Hughes, and it's about basically them interviewing everyone except John Hughes, because there's this moment where John Hughes was on top of the world, and then his movie started kind of not doing so great. He started getting behind really strange choices for movies. Some of the choices he made were odd, like Baby's Day Out and stuff like that. And then he just fucking disappeared. He didn't do any interviews, nothing. He just kind of became this recluse. And it's about these guys. This is a documentary, and these filmmakers that are trying to find him and have an interview with him. I'd seen it before. I actually watched it on Netflix. I didn't realize it was on DVD. I watched it on Netflix, over a year ago. And, it's not long. When you look at the back, it's only an hour and 13 minutes. I thought I remembered it being shorter, to be honest with you. So I didn't think it would ever warrant its own DVD release. I honestly think it was just going to be something that you could watch, like I said, on Netflix or online, but it was on DVD. I'm a big John Hughes fan. When John Hughes is good. I love all these movies that are on the front there, on the VHS spines. I like all those movies. I like all of them. So, actually, no, I'm actually looking for it. I've never seen Weird Science, but I love Pretty in Pink. I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I love this 16 Candles, and of course, everyone's favorite, and mine, is The Breakfast Club. It's a cool DVD, The disc looks kind of cool, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what kind of special features are on it. That's the same thing with the Anthropophagus DVD too. I've only seen what's on disc 1. I haven't actually popped in disc 2 at all yet. Apparently there's a documentary about Joe D'Amato on that I'll probably have to take a look at. So those are the DVDs. Now the VHS. Now I got some really cool VHS, and I'm basically going to go in order down to the coolest one. So first one I'm going to start off with is a movie I saw part of. I had mild interest in seeing it. And we were at a secondhand store called Value Village, and they were selling VHS tapes there. I think $1.99 a piece or something like that. And if you buy 4, you get the 5th one. If you buy 3, you get the 4th one free. Or no, if you buy 4, you get the 5th one free. Kind of thing. Basically you buy 4, whichever one is the absolute cheapest, or you get one of equal or lesser value free type idea, right? And I saw this and I was like, you know what, I'll grab it just to kind of fill it out. And that's Magic with Anthony Hopkins and Margaret and Burgess Meredith. And it's about this ventriloquist dummy and this guy who's kind of psychotic, and he almost kind of lives vicariously through his puppet, his ventriloquist dummy. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've never actually watched it in its entirety before, so I don't know exactly what it entails, but it looks like it should be fun. Next one that's pretty cool, I got this, and interesting, talking about Movie Village, I'll make it in a moment. I'm a big John Landis fan. And I love An American Werewolf in London. It's my favorite horror comedy of all time. The Blues Brothers is firmly in my top 10 favorite movies, period, of all time. You know, I love movies like Animal House and stuff like I liked Innocent Blood, and I'm trying to think of other movies he did. I still have yet to see Schlock, although it looks like a lot of fun. But anyways, and so I actually got what I think is one of his first movies. It's got to be one of his first movies, and that's Kentucky Fried Movie, which I'd seen bits of. I've never seen it in its entirety, but it's kind of like almost like an episode of a sketch comedy show that just happens to be feature length. And you know what? I always wanted to see it, so now I've got it. So when I get a VCR up and running, I definitely want to take a look. And what's cool is, see, it has this premiere sticker right here. And neat thing, if you look on the side, this actually, you can't see it on the sticker because of the light, but it actually came from Movie Village. Someone bought it from Movie Village, and then it ended up in, I guess they didn't want it anymore, so it ended up at Value Village. Went from Movie Village to Value Village. Interesting, but what's neat is there's a sale price sticker on this, so it was sold either new or secondhand for $8.95, which is just really, I could never take that sticker off because that's just hilarious, you know, like, you know, nowadays so many little stores. There's this little store in Grand Park Mall, a place where I live, called Entertainment Exchange, where I used to go and buy vintage like VHS tapes. And they had, last time I was in there, they had one tape, and it was Critters 3. And I didn't really want it, so I didn't buy it. But you know, that's the thing. That's how, you know, these things are almost becoming more and more rare. You know, like once everybody gives up their collection, and once stores stop carrying them, then maybe even you know, tapes that are kind of like whatever will start becoming valuable. So yeah, that's Kentucky Fried Movie. The next one, this is a cool movie. I think I actually recently downloaded the entire series of these films, but I bought this because I remember seeing this tape and I remember liking it, and I like it because it's super embossed, and I just like it was like from a time when people like really gave a shit about how movies were presented, and that's Wishmaster. And I like it because it's got this embossed cover, and on both spines and on the top and on the front it's embossed, and it's got a nice glossy finish. The classic Alliance Atlantis tape label, and I like this movie. I like this movie quite a bit. It's like super gory, and it's like super fun. It's like, it's got camp, but it knows it. And I enjoy the movie, so I got it. No, I don't even know, like, you know, I don't even have to watch it on VHS. Like Kentucky Fried Movie and Magic, I don't own those on DVD. I guess I could, but see, those are my only copies of that. I guess technically it's my only legit copy of this as well, and I guess I could download those too, but I digress. It's cool. I wanted it. You know, it was $1.99. Why the hell not, right? Alright, second to last, and the second coolest. I saw this, and I think I already have... I have at least one other... Yeah, I have the original, like, CBS Fox release of this, but I had to get this because I love the cover art, and I just love the packaging. And that's The Empire Strikes Back. Favorite Star Wars movie of all time. Also my top 10 favorite movies of all time. It's just, I mean, you can't go wrong, right? You know, it's just like, I love this movie, and it's got I love even on the inside cover, they still give a shit about how the title is. And I think this was originally part of a set. I think I remember seeing that box set once, because I definitely strongly recognize the Fox Video logo being in red. This tape came out, I think, I want to say in the 90s. Yeah, 1992 this release came out. And I mean, I don't need this. I have it on VHS already, and I have it on DVD. Will this get watched? Maybe, maybe not, but I still wanted to own it and have it in my collection. Now, this is the pièce de la résistance, one of my favorite things I'm updating. I found it also in Value Village amongst the VHS tapes, and it's one of those things where you see it and you think, I can't leave that behind. I have to leave with this. And that is The Stand. The entire 6-hour miniseries, which is on 4 tapes. As you can tell, there's 2 sets like this. I remember watching this. This is actually, The Stand is my favorite book of all time, period. The Stand is my favorite novel. And I remember watching this as a kid. And I shouldn't say as a kid, I watched it when I was a teenager. Probably 15, 16, maybe even 17. And I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's just such an epic story. I'm not going to get into exactly what The Stand is about, but it's my favorite book. Absolutely my favorite book of all time. And I really like the miniseries. Just the apocalyptic nature and just... at the end of the day, also largely a very, very faithful adaptation of the book. A book that might I add, I love. Duh. So yeah, I was really, really happy, and it has kind of a neat, as the kind of story right there, and it's just. It's one of those things when you grab it and then you're like, well, why would anybody get rid of it? And I still don't understand. Like, I don't know why anybody would want to get rid of this, because it's absolutely amazing. It's spectacular. It really is. And it's just so, the condition is absolutely gorgeous. It looks great. And it's just great. I was so happy to find it. Especially since, the DVD, I've seen it on DVD for, like, a lot of money. Like, I've seen DVDs go over for, like, $30, and I paid $5 for this set, and I paid again in a heartbeat. I absolutely love it, and I couldn't be happier about it. Well, that's my update. This time around, like I said, maybe in a month's time, I'd maybe have accrued enough things to warrant another video. But thanks everybody for watching. All 4 of you. Yeah, tune in next time, and hopefully I'll have some more interesting stuff. Maybe I'll put up another first time I ever saw a video. I may have at least 1 or 2 stories like that left. Of course, since I'm always watching movies, I'm always gaining those new experiences, right? Those new first-time experiences. But once again, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next time. Till then, this is your old pal Justin, signing off. And we're good.